So today we are looking into the function y equal square root of x. Y equals square root of x.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
This will be the upper if you sketch first the function that we already did. Y squared equals x, the sideways parabola. But when we have a square root of x, we take square root of both sides. What do they change?
It's only the top one.
We will have only the top branch because square root cannot be negative. So we have this is y equal square root of x. Y equals square root of x. So what is its domain? So domain is x greater or equal 0, or using the set notation we can write a plus union 0. Yeah, it's going to infinity. Because the bigger will be x, the bigger will be 1. No, we can write it from 0 to infinity, like this.
Yes.
What will be the range?
No, but Mr. V,
Yeah.
it can also be that bracket here, so it can be 0.
It can be 0, we can test it.
No, because
Infinity, you cannot include infinity. Because you put like stop here, but it keep going to infinity. Now, what will be the range?
Y is larger than or equal to 0.
Will be exactly the same, from 0 to infinity. Now, let's do some transformations. First, translations. If we want to sketch graph y equal square root of x plus 2 minus 4. What this will does with the square root?
it will put it down 4.
No.
and to the
Yeah.
2.
This one will go to the left and 4 down.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this graph called? What's that?
It is square root graph.
Square root graph.
Square root graph. So, as we move it to the left and down, there will be x and y intercepts. Let's find them. Before sketching graph, we need to identify the intercept. So, x equals 0, y will be equal square root of 2 minus 4, which will be approximately square root of 2, about 1.4, minus 4, approximately negative 2.6, just to have an idea where it will be. Y equals 0, we will get square root of x plus 2 equals 4. So x plus 2 equals 16. X will be equal, x plus 2 equals 4 square equals 16, x equals 14. So now we can sketch the graph. We have all necessary information. Yx. This graph, what the difference with this graph compared to other graphs that we do? It has starting point. It has starting point. In one direction, it's not going forever. It has starting point. So starting point, we already identify negative 2, negative 4.
But how is it x and y can be negative? But how can x and y be negative?
Because we moved it 2 to the left. This is when we have x plus 2 on the square root. If we put minus 1,
Oh,
With
yes,
minus 1 plus
yes,
2, we get
yes,
1.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have negative 2, negative 2, negative 4. Yes.
I'm confused how to get the graph.
Sorry?
I'm confused how you get the starting point.
Turning point of the.
We wanted the starting point of y equal root x.
0.
0, 0. It
Yeah.
starts at 0, 0. What this does with the graph? Move 2 to the left, because when we have x plus 2, it's translated 2 to the left, and this minus 4 down. And we have that y-intercept is root 2 minus 4, x-intercept 14, so that will be our graph. This is 14, 0. This is 0 root 2 minus 4. So that is the graph of the square root of x plus 2 minus 4. Make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Now,
Like what?
the interesting thing will be when we do reflections.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because this time, our reflections will be not the same as it was with the hyperbola when we reflected it. It will be very different graph. For example, what will be y equal negative root x? What we change? Do we change x or y?
X. No, Y.
Y.
So you flip one Y.
So that will be negative root x.
Daniel, Mum's liking this.
What will be if we do
I think so.
y equal,
Not trying to do this, just trying to write.
No, I didn't.
Just trying to write. Just trying.
I think we should pay attention, square root of negative x.
That's just on the flipping.
That is the reflection in y-axis, so that will be the graph, root. If you take x negative number, negative becomes positive. So you have positive number under
But so
square
there's
root.
never in the that.
And now, what will be the equation of this one?
Negative square root.
Negative square root of negative x.
Negative root of negative x. We did the reflection in both y and x-axis.
So y equals square root of x.
Y equal negative square root of,
Y equals wait, square root of negative x is that one, and then negative square root of x, and then negative square root of negative x.
yes.
Yes.
Now, let's sketch the next graph. Let's sketch the next graph, the probably hardest that square root graph can be. Y equal Two.
More like rough and hot.
minus square root of square root of 8 minus 2x. Y equal 2 minus square root of 8 minus 2x. Now, the very first step you should do, and that not only for this graph, for all graphs. Make a note, never sketch graph when you have coefficient of x not positive 1. We need to make coefficient of x positive 1. How we do that?
What's the point of knowing those graphs?
We take negative 2 as a common factor, and this becomes x minus 4. Why we need to do that?
It makes it simple to calculate x.
Not just simply to
And the
calculate.
translation. I mean,
We
the
can
scale.
see the real translation. In which direction it's translated, to the right or to the left?
To the
To the right. Can you see it here that it's translated to the right?
Yeah, but
No.
not as well.
Here, when you make like this, you will see the real translation. So, please make a note. Before sketching any graph,
Which way is it translated?
factorize,
To the right.
Yes.
factorize expression, so have coefficient of x positive 1.
No,
Then
that's
you
what
will
outside
see
right.
the real translation. So what will be the starting point of this graph? We have will be
The
4 to the
coefficient
right
makes it like,
and 2 up. So we have starting point is 4, 2. Now let's find the x and y intercept if there will be any.
Why is this not-
If we have x equals 0,
2 minus 1.
x equals 0, we have minus 4 times minus 2 is 8, so we'll have 2y equal
2 minus 2 root
2 minus 2 root 2. So will be approximately negative 0.8. Now, y equals 0. Y equals 0, we will get square root of negative 2 x minus 4 equals 2. Square both sides, negative 2 x minus 4 equals 4, x minus 4 equals negative 2, x equals 2. So
And then
we
you-
have all important information. Starting point 4, 2, 4, 2. And by the way, out of these 4, which shape it will be?
Negative.
bottom.
The red one. Because
Yeah.
we have minus in front of the square root and we have negative x, so it will be this one. So you start here at 4, 2. We have x equals 2, x intercept, 2, 0, and we have y intercept is 0, 2 minus 2 root 2. So that will be the graph. That will be the graph. Make sense?
Yeah.
If something doesn't make sense, I'm happy to repeat.
Da. No, what?
So, better say tak,
Tak.
not da, tak.
What's
In
tak?
Ukrainian.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
tak.
So, does that make sense? This is the hardest the square root graph can be. If this makes sense, then any other graph will be a piece of cake.
Right.
Okay? That's all new stuff for today. Like, subscribe, and donate to help to help fight all terrorist countries and organizations.
Stop.